Hey there, nature lovers. It is Jackie from Eco Endeavor, and I am in the garden. Feels like a good day to just make a video about seed saving because that's what I have been doing lately, and I think that it is an important thing that every homesteader and every gardener should learn how to do is to properly save their own seeds. There's a lot of good reasons to do that. The one that I like the best is that it saves you a lot of money, and it also gives you the most resilient seeds. So seeds that have been growing in your climate specifically and that they handled your drought or your intense heat or whatever summer conditions that you had, and they produce healthy, viable fruit or vegetables. Those are the seeds that you want to actually choose from, or the plants that you want to choose the seeds from. You're also going to want to try to pick from more heirloom varieties and from hybrids, because hybrids will not always grow true to their parent plant. That's not saying that you shouldn't also save seeds from hybrids, because I have, and it's kind of just fun to see what is going to come of them. So you should still also save seeds from that. I think you should just save seeds from anything. Anything that you would like to grow in your garden for next year and you don't want to have to buy those seeds, save your own seeds. Another reason to save seeds is because if you are going to a seed swap, then you have extra seeds to be able to share with your neighbors. Because again, I am wanting to get my garden full of seeds that have been grown and have adjusted to my specific climate and microclimate in my area. So if I'm trading seeds with my neighbors, then I'm going to have varieties that are developed and attuned to this my climate zone. An example of this is a pepper that I grew from a neighbor who gave me a pepper from his plant, who that neighbor had gotten it from another neighbor who saved it from a Costco pepper, but then it's been at least 4 years growing in this area, within a 2-block radius. So those were the peppers that did the best for me this year, obviously. So yeah, okay, so those are 2 great reasons. 1, you're going to have better climate resilient seeds that are focused to your area. 2, it's going to save you a bunch of money. And really, that's all the reasons that you should need. But let's get to it, and I'll show you how to save those seeds. So when selecting what to save seeds from, you want to choose the healthiest, biggest, beautiful, viable plants, vegetables, flowers that you grew this summer, because those are the ones that are going to have passed on those genes to their little seeds. So I'm not going to pick a tomato that grew small or a tomato that struggled. I'm going to pick the tastiest, juiciest, biggest tomato that didn't crack, that survived the water issues I had this summer, that survived the heat issues, all of that. That's going to give me really strong seeds to grow from. For flower seeds, you really just want to let them dry out on the plant. And you do need to get them before, this stage right here is pretty good. They seem to be dry and they haven't fallen to the ground yet. So these are all good seeds to save. If you take a lot and then you just overplant, your success rate is improved. Another way to actually save seeds is to not save them at all and to just let them go to seed in your garden. So this sunflower grew in this bed from seeds from the sunflower last year that self-seeded itself. So these seeds that the birds are eating and providing habitat, food for the birds and habitat for insects, and I'm sure that some of these will be self-planted, and that's okay by me too, because this is a great way to spread seeds in your garden, is let nature plant them and they will be resilient and they will come up, hopefully they will, like this one did. I'm going to take a few of these sunflowers because this one, it's a strong sunflower. It survived. This is the 2nd year this variety's grown here, and it self-seeded itself from last year. So yeah, let's save some of those. Here, these are winter field peas, and I just let them dry right on the stalk, and then I can harvest them straight from in here. These do self-seed all over my garden, which I don't mind because I planted them specifically to build soil health. These beans, these rattlesnake beans, I will let dry on the plant until they are brown, and then they'll get cracked open and shelled, and then I can eat these and save some to replant. This is arugula, and it has started to flower and to form these little seed pods on the side here. Now these seed pods are not ready to be harvested yet. They need to dry again on the stalk, and you do want to get them though before they're too dry that the sun cracks them open, but they need to be brown. If you harvest them green, they will not turn brown, so you need to wait until they are ready for that. I also have some peppers down here, some chilies that I was hoping they were going to turn red. We still have we've got a few days of sun yet, I think they will, but I probably should really harvest them. But these, you just slice the pepper open and scrape out the seeds and let them dry. Same with tomatoes. You can give them a rinse because tomatoes have that little membrane on them. pat them dry and store them. After you have selected what you want to save seeds from, make sure that you are labeling those seeds properly. I saved these little sweet millions from a neighbor again who gave me one of his, or actually a few of his, and he grew his in a greenhouse and they were quite big. I grew mine outside and they grew tiny. So I still have some seeds that I saved from him from last year. So next year I might try to grow them in the garden or in the greenhouse to see like what the difference in size is, because I don't actually want to save seeds from these ones. They're tiny, puny little ones that, I mean, they taste delicious, but they're really small. Same with my other tomatoes behind me, my Sun Gold. My Sun Gold are my absolute favorite cherry tomato, hands down. I have not met any other cherry tomato that I like better than the Sun Gold, but this year they all cracked, all of them. So that might be a variety that I want to actually buy from a seed company this year or for next year, instead of saving for my own, because I don't want to have that trait passed on to my future tomatoes that are going to be in that garden bed or another garden bed. So think about that too when you are selecting your seeds, buying your seeds. Which ones do you really want to grow from viable seed companies? Which ones do you want to save yourself? And label them properly so you know. I have been saving seeds all summer when plants are ready for me to save seeds from, and I've been keeping them stored in this trailer that I have on the property, and it is now time for me to pack them away properly and label them, because the humid season is arriving, because the rainy season's coming. It's gonna be winter here on Vancouver Island. So I need to get those seeds safely secured and stored so that they are viable for next year and years to come. And if you are new here and you don't know what's going on with this channel, hi, my name is Jackie. I bought property on Vancouver Island. I do not have a house yet. I am building a house soon, but I planted that food forest first because, you know, priorities. But hopefully we'll be building this house very, very soon and breaking ground, and I'm actually building my house out of hemp. So if you are into hempcrete, natural building, building sustainably, then please hit that like and subscribe button and come join me on this crazy journey of trying to live my best eco life. And yeah, okay, let's check out the RV. Okay, all my tomatoes that I still need to make some salsa from. I got some garlic, onions, extra canning jars, and then here is all of the seeds I have saved so far. And it is time. It's time to get them packed away. So let's get that started. All right, so we're in the RV, and not the one I'm currently living in, another one is the long story. Anyways, this has been my little processing kitchen. I've got my dehydrator over there going. I've got my seed saving stuff going on here. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, was how to prepare all of this stuff for long-term storage. So I have all of these beautiful marigold flowers that are dry, and they are very dry to the touch already. These are the seeds here. And I'm collecting a lot of these for our seed swap, which is in February. Our community center does a big CD Saturday, and I'm actually part of the volunteer committee for that. And I want to make sure that I've got a lot of seeds to swap and trade, because it is one of my favorite events of the year. I get so many cool seeds to try out, and they're all from growers pretty much around my area, but also other parts of Vancouver Island, as it is quite popular that people come in from the Gulf Islands and whatnot to be able to come to the CD Saturday event, where they can buy plants and buy seeds from local suppliers, as well as do the seed swap. And the seed swap is supposed to be seeds from your own garden that you have grown. So I just think it's fantastic in climate resiliency and building that community and all those great things. I keep them in glass jars. So these are my poppies here. And you can, good thing about glass jars is you can tell with humidity. If you close it up and they were wet, you will see that humidity in them. And it's not the best for space wise, but if you've got extra glass jars and you hoard them like I do, it's a good way to use them up. So these are my poppies, and I just labeled them Poppies 2024. I could go through shaking out all the little poppy things, but I don't have time for that. And if you have never saved seeds from a poppy head before, the poppy seeds dry these little beautiful little bulb, and then all the seeds fall out, which that one is empty. So there are just little poppy seeds that come out of that seed head in here. So if you clip them when they are dry and then just throw them in the jar and yeah, just give it a shake, you're going to get all those little poppy seeds out. And then you can get rid of the other big heads. But for me, I'm just going to leave them in like this anyways, because again, I'm kind of lazy. I have a whole jar of calendula. And I do love calendula. It reminds me of my grandmother, and some of the seeds that I actually have in my garden this year are from seeds that I've had from her seed collection, that when she passed, I inherited her entire seed collection and I was able to grow some of those calendulas. So I like to think of all of these as my grandmother's calendula, and I will just keep growing and adding them and spreading them everywhere. And they do self-seed on their own too, so they'll be in lots of places. But again, saving extra to be able to trade with people and to bring to my CD Saturday seed swap. White clover. So I grew a clover ground cover this year, which was amazing. I have a video on that if you would like to check it out. And I am just like, I love it. I love it way more than wood chips. Wood chips maybe look a little bit nicer sometimes, but no, I like line on the clover. A clover, you do just rip off the dried head, the whole flower. And as I'm like taking it apart, there's tiny, tiny little yellow seeds that will come out of the seed head. And that is the clover seeds. And they're really, really small. And there's so much of this other stuff that's in there that it is kind of annoying to actually have to go through just to get all of those tiny, tiny little seeds. And I don't even know if I can show you any on camera here. If you do have a mobile seed cleaning service, you can take advantage of that if you have a lot of seeds, or you want to start getting to sell seeds. We are lucky enough that we do have a mobile seed cleaning service that comes along. And like, I can't even show you this because it's so tiny. This is like the tiny little clover seed right here. And yeah, I mean, if I was going to be trying to sell this mass-produced clover seeds, I would take it to my seed cleaning business. But if not, or the free mobile seed cleaner that comes around, but I'm not. So these ones I will probably just, like when I'm spreading them out to spread my clover around, I'll just rub them with my hands, try to get that seeds out, and just throw them and just let nature be nature. Like it doesn't really need our help that much sometimes. It's better off if we don't intervene, right? Okay, Lupin, I have a whole video on Lupin. Lupin is a native wildflower in British Columbia, and I have saved seeds from this one as well. These are like they're like legumes, so they want them to dry on the pot as well, and then get them before the sun cracks them open. My chives, again, I saved the flower and let the flower dry, and then after the flower dries, you can see at the bottom there's all the little black seeds. So same thing as a clover. These are a little bit bigger though, and that they do come out of the seed heads. So you can see the little black, this is a little black seed. Those are little black seeds there. They look like mouse turds. So not a great thing to have in an RV on the ground, because you never know. But is it a chive seed or is it a mouse? Who knows? Just sweep it away. Don't ask questions. Okay, lovage. Lovage is like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Lovage is like a perennial celery, and I haven't actually gotten into using it as much as I would like to. I did dry a bunch of the lovage leaves, and that I want to use like in soups this winter. But I also think, like, I took off the seed heads, and they look kind of like dill seed heads, but they smell like celery seed. Like, it smells so much like celery. So these ones here, I think I could use them in place of celery seed. So I've saved a bunch to be able to, again, trade at the seed swap, but I also would like to try to see, like, throw them in soups and stuff as use of celery seeds, because I think they're going to be just as viable as, or just as useful that way. If you grow one marigold plant in your garden, you should never have to buy marigold seeds ever again. You just got to save a few of the dead heads. And like, you can get greedy like me and save like all of them, or you can not. It's up to you. But the more you save, the more you have to trade. And maybe one year you're tired or you're overwhelmed or you've got other things to do and you forget to save seeds, and then you can go to your seed stash and find that you've got a whole bunch more that you saved because you were in a seed saving mood that day. So you saved lots of seeds. Look at it. There's so many. And I love that they look like little porcupine guys. Whoop. Squash, pumpkins, any of these types of guys. So when I save seeds from this, I will take the seeds out, scoop them out, wash them, dry them, let them like air dry, and then pack them away. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You don't need to ferment these guys. You don't really need to ferment any seeds, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. And like, don't come at me in the comments if you are a diehard fermenter of your seeds. You can, but yeah. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, fermenting means soaking your seeds in water. So some seeds, like our tomato seeds, have a little gelatin on them, which I'll show you. I would not save seeds from this one because it got some sort of disease on it. But for educational purposes, I will rip it apart right now and make a big mess. Get the jelly seeds that are in like a gelatinous membrane. So those are to protect the seeds from actually sprouting inside the tomato because of the moist, warm environment sometimes in the tomato. So that gel, they want you to ferment it off. They usually say soak it in water and then let it ferment and get all kind of like, you know, fermenty. And then that gelatin cover will be taken off, and then you can pat and dry your seeds. And I do this. Sometimes I do, but sometimes if I'm lazy, I don't do it. And what I do instead is I just over save seeds. So what I would do is save more seeds than I want, and I spread them out on a paper towel and then let them air dry again, and they will stick a little bit to that paper towel. That is fine. You can even plant part of that paper towel. Nothing's gonna happen. But the idea is then that you're just doubling, improving your chances of those seeds germinating by tripling the amount of seeds that you want to save and then planting those extras. Both methods have been successful for me. Tomatoes grow really, really well. They are excellent at saving seeds from. I have seeds again from my late grandmother that I have saved seeds from and still grow. Every year I grow from her little thing of tomatoes, and a lot of them, I don't think she fermented them. I think they were just saved however she saved them, and they work. So ferment if you want to, don't ferment if you don't want to. Just save seeds. That's all you need to do, is just save seeds. It's the best thing to make gardening affordable for yourself and have those climate resilient seeds that are attuned to your climate zone. Like, I am very different even from the town that is 20 minutes away from me because I'm up a further elevation. So it's colder here in the winter. It's warmer here in the summer. Plants grow differently. My soil is different. I want to have plants that are used to growing in my crazy little food forest on this crazy little sandy rocky plot of land. So the best way to do that is to save my own seeds. So yeah, I also have a video on pepper saving seeds. If you would like to see that, I will link it above. I think that's pretty much all for this video. Like, don't overthink it. When the seeds are dry, save them. If it's from a wet thing that you're saving from, like these or this tomato, dry them, save them, put them away dry, label them properly, describe your growing conditions. Super dry summer, super wet summer. Did they grow successfully? Grew it in a greenhouse, saved it from neighbor lands. Like, yeah, save seeds, label them, plant them, have fun. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.